When you tell women that having multiple baby daddies and multiple kids really affects their dating outcomes, they're not happy. Describe and let's talk about it.
Can I borrow that? Oh.
What, this?
On the heartbreaking device. Oh.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fair.
Why are you breaking the heart?
You seem very fun. You're obviously a little batty. You got a little attitude. You're cute. All that stuff. I couldn't come home to my family and friends be like, hey, I got this girl. She's got 4 kids by 3 different men. It just wouldn't work for me. You feel me? So it's
That's
not
fair.
like, it's not for everyone, but it's not for me. So I'm trying to build my own family.
Fair enough.
But she is someone that's your type aesthetically?
Oh yeah. No, you're cute. You're cute as hell.
I'll take it.
Put it on. Is he someone that's your type?
Yeah, he was. I'll take it. He does.
We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. Yeah,
Always till I open my mouth. I don't know what it is.
No, it's not that. It wasn't your mouth. It wasn't the things that you said.
Fair.
Let's be real. This is true. A lot of men care the same way that women care about what their friends think and their opinions of how things roll, how things go with the man, the potential suitor, the one they got around. Men care too about their image and status. It's a hard question to have answered or to have put up on you when you bring someone around and you hear, yeah, she has 3 baby daddies, she has 3 kids, and they're going to look at you, especially if you're a man that sort of maintained your sort of placing and footing. What he said there, I want to create my own family. That's when you saw, like, if you can go back and watch it, you see like the shift, right? That's when it's like she's caught between that rock and hard place. I want to flame and want to find something bad to say, but on these times when men pop and reject women, they often, there's an argument that ensues. There's nonsense that goes back and forth, but men are often trying to be polite in the most sincere way. Listen, you've got baggage, and that's just not for me. I'm not known for that. I'm trying to create a peaceful life, or at least if I have my own drama, it's mine. I made it. Listen, before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss no uploads. Still trying to do 2 a day. So share the video, hype the video, and we got merch in the store. So listen, it's not, I don't want to say it's not fair, because we're adults here. We understand that fairness sort of goes out the window here. When you have made decisions in your life, those affect you going forward. They're just part of your history, that they're part of your story. It's a normal thing. It's a normal part of growing up. You can't excise part of you, especially something so intrinsic as having kids and the decisions behind that. Men understand, right? For the most part, men often can understand, okay, you've had one. It happens. It's when you repeat the cycle, when you repeat this is when it's like, it's not a mistake. It's not a thing that happened. It's a way of life. It's your decision making. I think it's a fair thing for us to have a worry by us. I mean, men that have, sort of worked to make sure they didn't have kids. They made sure they got to a place in their life where they can have that optionality. I don't want to be fourth. I don't think that's a difficult thing to say, or it's a rude thing to say. But in terms of importance, I'm not trying to compete with 3 other men, 3 other kids, for your attention, for your time. I don't know the relationships you had with those. They could be convoluted. They could be fly by night. Whatever those your decisions for those impacts me. Just like when you tell a man about who you dealt with in the past. This is a very common tactic in order to boost your own sort of importance, or to tell men, this is why you should treat me well. I had a doctor that paid all my bills, that we traveled, he did all these things, and he gave me 10K as allowance. Put that in your lap, like, you're now supposed to do that or better. Well, same thing applies. That's the very same logic that, doesn't really make sense to us. Same thing applies when we say, okay, tell me about the qualities of the men that you chose to have babies for, to have babies with. Tell me about them. Tell me what was so detrimental, what was so awful about them that you're not with them. When it's one, we understand that. Okay? That's when all the explanation is kind of still on the table. Yeah, well, we were together and things changed. All right, I left that because things got abusive. Okay, I understand that. And then you tried again, then again. All right. We as men, especially, we are very, very cued to the notion of when they always say it's all men. And you haven't done anything like this. Any type of thing like this is reprehensible in your life. You've gone through your life, quietly, respectfully. You're not one of the offenders. You call out bad behavior when you see it. You make sure your circle is called of this type of behavior. So when you hear the all, you say, okay, I see, I understand the intent, I understand the emotion behind it. But that's not me. That's never been me. So when all those guys were narcissists, all those guys were abusive, all those guys were evil, no. And again, to his point, having to bring someone like that into your circle where you're respected, where people understand how you move. And let's just understand this for a second. Let's play this out. If you have navigated into your adult years, your mid-adult, late adult years, you've navigated that, you have no kids, you're probably known for being, decisive and making informed decisions. But this doesn't sound like an informed decision. Now you have 0 kids. Now you automatically are going to have 3. That does not something that men in typically like to do. In fact, when you do it, most men raise an eyebrow. They're curious. It's like, what made you make that decision? If you've made it to 30, 35 plus with no kids, why suddenly are you going to take on 3, 4, 5? It's not a fairy tale. This is not really what happens. If you're a woman that with multiple kids, or then you probably need a man with the same. That's what it would take where another man would sort of understand that. And you would probably also understand this is now going to be a team effort. This isn't one of those things where you just say, you also have to put me up and I don't have to work and I need this paid for and I need you to support the kids 100%. No, we're going to do a blended step-by-step family. We're going to make it work together. This is going to be a joint project for the rest of our lives. Trying to get a man that has no kids to kind of sing that song that's a hard pill for men to swallow. It's, it doesn't matter that, you're a little baddie. You got a little thing on the, behind there. He look and say, that's cool. Right? I can see how you got 3 baby daddies. I can see what attracted them. I can see, cool. But I can't bring that around my friends. I can't bring that around my people. I can't. It's what we used to, say all the time. Can you bring that person to a company function where people are going to look at you and judge you by the qualities of your partner? Is this a good representation of you when you're not there? This is how men often think when we're allowed to voice these things on shows like this. And he did it in a very polite way. And you can, if you're familiar with the show, with any type of Pop the Balloon show, you know that he made it through the cuts and the pops and all this. He made it there. He didn't pop. He waited to the end. So it looked like, oh, is this a match? Is this something's working? And she said, yeah, until he said that, right? He was good until he said he spoke the actual truth. Why he held on to the boom for such a long time, I don't know. I didn't see the full clip where she may have revealed the number of kids later on. But this is a reality. You don't have to think it's fair. You don't have to like it, but men actually get a say. And if you're coming with multiple children, then most men are probably going to say this is not for me. For an actual long-term, serious, committed relationship. If you guys are just going to have fun, then yeah, sure. That's often ends up being the difference. That men will still have fun and still entertain you, still sleep with you, but not have any meaning or any hope or thought of doing something long-term with you. I get that confusion, and yeah, maybe we should just keep it in our pants in that sense. But listen, if you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. If you see other videos on your screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. Naturally, you listen to sound my voice now. If you have not subscribed, I think you should. I'm trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.